Dave, coming to you live on a Tuesday. Man, I hope your week started out great, and I hope that today is rocking. It is nasty outside here in Fort Worth, but it is toasty inside in this office. Man, today I want to talk about making the transition from one market to another. So we have a client that's in the beauty space. They create beauty products, and they're actually going from selling mostly B2B, so mostly wholesale, to selling to B2C. And you may think, oh, that's no big deal. Like they're probably just fine. The problem is they've created packaging, they've created pricing, they've created sales materials, all for selling to other companies. And so now they're coming to us, they're like, hey, we want to get into this market, we want to go direct to consumer, and we want an e-commerce site, and we blah, 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 and we have all these lofty goals for how we want to hit it. And so we've had to have the uncomfortable conversation around their packaging and around who they're competing with, right? Because there's all these people that they're now going to compete with that they weren't competing with before. Why weren't they competing with them before? Because really they were just trying to get shelf space with these other businesses, and that was different because basically they were a white label brand. No one knew that it was our client that they were representing, right? And so now all of a sudden they have to create something that's actually going to be forward-facing. They have to create a brand that's identifiable. They have to have names for their products that people are going to want to purchase and understand why this is superior to other products. And the reality is there's a lot of people in their space that make a similar product, but it's not quite the same. So when we had this conversation, it became uncomfortable because they had all these ideas for names that people couldn't say. I'm going to give you a pro tip. If you have a product and someone can't say the name of your product, it's going to be difficult to move it quickly. Why? Because if someone can't say, hey, get me the fill in the blank, right? Give me the Dove soap. I'm looking for Dove soap. That's easy. Dove is easy. But if I'm looking for the iconoclastic, whatever bar of soap, that's going to be challenging. Axe body spray works great. Why? Not as a product. It smells. It's terrible. But the name, easy to say. People want things that they can wrap their minds around. They want things that are simple and easy to understand, and that includes the name. And so that was part of the deal with this client, is really getting them to take a hard look at their name and to realize, hey, we need to change that. The other thing was, we really wanted them to take a look at their packaging and realize that from a wholesale perspective, their packaging was fine. But from a B2C perspective, they needed to reevaluate how they're going to send this in the mail, something that they had never considered. Like, how are we going to package this in a way that's going to be appealing to our consumer, which are women? How are we going to make this a brand that actually stands out to them in a marketplace that's saturated with other people in this same space? And a lot of them they seem to be small brands, but they're actually owned by major corporations. And they have shelf space in some of the places that we don't. Major retailers like Walmart and Target, and they have a massive presence on Amazon. So how are we going to overcome that? So as we looked at all these different things, we had these difficult conversations. I really started to think about everyone that listens to this live video feed on a regular basis, and I thought about all the different ways that as entrepreneurs, we shift our business models, right? We don't just shift our service offerings or our products. We shift sometimes our niches, who we're going after, who we're talking to. And in that, we actually need to have a deeper conversation with ourselves, with our teams, about, hey, what are the vast, far-reaching implications that this is going to have for how we communicate and brand and demonstrate who we are to our customers. And so as you start to think about what you're doing in your business, remember, if you change your niche, you're going to have to change everything about who you are. You need to look at yourself in a new light. What new competitors do you have that you didn't have before? What are things that they're doing that you're not doing because you had a different market before. And now you have their market. These are all challenging questions that can be answered with creativity and time. This is your Daily Dose of Dave for Tuesday, November 5th. Happy Election Day, by the way. Get out there and vote. Till next time. Catch